Clean my Father's house, the cleansing of the temple courts. The city of Jerusalem buzzed with life as thousands poured into it for the Passover festival. Pilgrims from distant lands filled the streets with different accents. Families led sacrificial lambs through narrow alleyways, and merchants lined the outer courts of the Temple Mount, their stalls stacked with cages of doves and animals. The outer court, known as the Court of the Gentiles, was meant to be a place for worship and prayer, even for non-Jews. But now it was more like a marketplace, filled with shouting, bargaining, and the clinking of coins. Jesus enters the temple. Jesus had been traveling. He had healed the sick, taught the crowds, and just entered Jerusalem riding a donkey, hailed by the people shouting, "Hosanna! Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord." But now, as he entered the temple courts, his face changed. The smell of livestock, the noise of arguing money changers, the greed in the air. He looked around, seeing what his Father's house had become. This was not worship. This was robbery, a holy place turned into a business. Righteous anger. Without a word, Jesus began to act. He picked up cords, possibly ropes used for leading animals, and formed a whip. Then, in a sudden rush of holy fire, he stormed through the market area. "Get these out of here. Stop turning my Father's house into a market." John 2:16 tables flipped. Coins scattered across the temple floor. Doves fluttered out of broken cages. Merchants scrambled, stunned by the force and authority in Jesus' voice. "It is written," he declared, "My house shall be called a house of prayer, but you have made it a den of thieves." Matthew 21:13. This wasn't out of control rage. It was righteous judgment, a deliberate act of purifying what had been corrupted. The reaction. The religious leaders were furious. "Who does he think he is?" they whispered. "By what authority does he do this?" The people, however, watched in silence and awe. Some were convicted, some were confused, but all were moved. "Zeal for your house will consume me." John 2:17, fulfilling Psalm 69:9. Jesus didn't destroy the temple, but he exposed its rottenness, not just in the marketplace, but in the hearts of those who ran it. What happened next? After cleansing the temple, Jesus healed the blind and the lame who came to him there, Matthew 21:14. The place meant for worship had finally become holy again, for a moment. But this act marked him. It drew the line in the sand between Jesus and the temple authorities. From this day forward, the plot to kill him accelerated. Deeper meaning and lessons. 1. Worship is sacred. God desires hearts that seek him, not systems that exploit people. 2. Jesus has authority over the temple, over religion, over all that is falsely labeled holy. 3. True worship includes justice. Jesus stood against corruption and for the marginalized. Our hearts are temples. Just as Jesus cleansed the physical temple, he also desires to cleanse our inner lives. Reflection. What would Jesus find if he walked into the temple of your heart today? Would he find prayer, or prophet, quiet worship, or hidden corruption?